Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
In world news, the highest-ranking U.S. military officer offered up a modified timeline today of the deadly attack on troops in Niger.
4 U.S. soldiers died in the attack and many questions still unanswered. Mola Lenghi has the latest now from Washington.
The U.S. task force that came under fire in Niger this month faced an onslaught of small arms, rocket-propelled grenades, and machine gun fire for nearly 2 hours, according to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Joseph Dunford.
That unit thought they could handle the situation without additional support.
In fact, they waited an hour after the attack began before requesting backup, and it took French aircraft another hour to arrive, lengthening the initially reported time that U.S. troops alone faced militants linked to ISIS and al-Qaeda. The firefight left soldiers Brian Black, Dustin Wright, and Jeremiah Johnson dead. A fourth soldier, LaDavid Johnson, was alone and presumably alive a mile away, and General Dunford says he still does not know why Johnson was there.
And once we found out that Sergeant Johnson was missing, we brought the full weight of the U.S. government to bear in trying to try to recover his body.
That took 2 more days.
President Trump has faced criticism for not mentioning the 4 U.S. soldiers' deaths sooner, and for what he said in a condolence call he made to the pregnant widow of Sergeant Johnson.
Johnson's widow told ABC News the military has not told her where her husband's body was found or why she was not allowed to open his casket.
I don't know what's in that box. It could be empty for all I know.
There are times when we make a suggestion to the family that they may not want to review the remains. At the end of the day, the policy is it's the family's decision.
General Dunford says as soon as investigators have answers about what happened to Sergeant Johnson and the other 3 soldiers, the families will get a personal visit with all the details. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
The sentencing hearing for Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl of Idaho faces possible life in prison for desertion will resume Wednesday. Last week, Bergdahl pled guilty to desertion and misbehavior before the enemy. Bergdahl says he was tortured during the 5 years he was held hostage. Bergdahl was freed in exchange for 5 Taliban detainees who were held at Guantanamo. President Trump has repeatedly criticized Bergdahl during this week's sentencing hearing. In fact, the defense expected to argue that the commander-in-chief's statements prevented Bergdahl from getting a fair trial. He's expected to testify during that sentencing hearing.
Authorities in Tampa, Florida are still hunting for a possible serial killer connected to 3 murders within 10 days. Tonight, people came together for a community meeting. They wanted an update on the manhunt and to stand for a moment of silence. Tampa police officers patrolled the streets throughout the day, talking to residents and looking for clues. 3 people were killed. They don't believe they knew each other, but they do believe the killings are connected because of their close proximity and time frame. So far, all police have is surveillance video of a man in the area on the night of the first murder. Police believe he may have information. They are stopping short, though, of calling him a suspect.
Coming up, the Grizz are refreshed and ready for their next opponent after a bye week.
And next in Health Watch, could a psychedelic drug popular in the 60s help treat patients with depression now? We'll take a look at the science behind magic mushrooms when we come back.